Rise of Islam in Europe. What's really happening? Europe is changing, and fast. Islam is on the rise like never before. From Paris to Berlin, from London to Stockholm, the numbers are skyrocketing. But why? Is it just migration? Is it conversions? Or is something bigger happening? Today, we break it all down. Let's go. Chapter 1. The numbers are shocking. First, the facts. Islam is now the second largest religion in Europe, with over 25 million Muslims and counting. In France, nearly 10% of the population is Muslim. In Germany, over 5.5 million Muslims and rising. And in the UK, Islam is the fastest growing religion. Experts predict that by 2050, Muslims could make up 10% of Europe's population. But why is this happening? There are two major reasons: migration and birth rates. Chapter 2. Migration and birth rates. The big drivers. Let's talk about migration. Over the last few decades, millions have moved to Europe from North Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia. Then came the Syrian refugee crisis in 2015, and Germany alone took in over 1 million refugees. But here's where it gets even more interesting: birth rates. While many European countries have aging populations, Muslim families tend to be younger and have more children. The result? A natural population boom. But migration isn't the only factor driving Islam's rise. Chapter 3. The shocking rise in conversions. Here's what most people don't talk about: conversions. Islam isn't just growing through migration. Europeans are embracing it too. In France, over 4,000 people convert to Islam every year. In the UK, around 5,000 people convert annually, most of them women. Even in Germany, conversion rates are climbing. But why? Many say they find discipline, structure, and peace in Islam. Some are disillusioned with materialism and searching for something deeper. Whatever the reason, one thing is clear: this movement is getting bigger. Chapter 4. Challenges and the backlash. But with rapid growth comes pushback. Many European countries are now debating: can Islam integrate with Western values? Some governments are tightening immigration laws. France has hijab bans in schools. Denmark and Sweden are restricting asylum seekers. And far-right groups are gaining support, fearing a so-called cultural shift. Some argue that Europe is losing its identity. Others believe that Europe has always evolved, just like when Christianity spread centuries ago. So, what happens next? Chapter 5. The future. What's next? Experts predict that by 2050, Europe's Muslim population could double. Cities like London, Paris, and Brussels are already seeing major shifts: mosques, halal businesses, and Muslim cultural influence growing. But will Europe embrace this transformation? Or will tensions keep rising? One thing's for sure: Islam's rise in Europe cannot be ignored. What do you think? Will Islam reshape Europe's future, or will Europe reshape Islam? Let's discuss in the comments.